Good evening and welcome to this November 2nd edition of EastCast. I'm Lisa Taylor with Matt Leschner to bring you the news of the week. Our word today is sepulchral, which is an adjective suggestive of the grave or burial, tomb-like, dismal, and gloomy. In honor of our word, this Saturday was a perfect sepulchral setting for Halloween, dark, gloomy, and rainy. However, for trick-or-treaters, there certainly could have been more ideal conditions. Except for the few brave souls who could not have been kept away from their candy by anything, most people had to find another, preferably indoor, Halloween activity. Thanks to the Thespian Society, this was not a problem. Starting at 11 a.m., the Thespians set up a large-scale haunted house at East. Guests who wandered in for a mere $3 saw the Phantom of the Opera, Frankenstein, Norman Bates, Dr. Giggles, Macbeth's Witches, a car crash, the hanging of the Crucible's John Proctor, and other equally creepy sights. The special effects were excellent and the turnout was phenomenal. About $2,000 was raised to fund the Thespian trip to London and for charity for leukemia, which, by the way, would mean 666 people attended, very in tune with our Halloween theme. Then at night, the Thespian Society hosted a Halloween costume ball that also served as a fundraiser for their club. The costumes were also judged. Among the winners were Steve Aaron as most original as Static Man, who came with pieces of clothing stuck all over himself, and Scariest, who was R.J. Patella, who came as Silence of the Lambs' Hannibal Lecter.
Also, Halloween brought other tricks and treats to Cherry Hill High School East. Teachers were dressed appropriately as witches and devils, and the SGA sponsored their annual pumpkin decorating contest. Many funny pumpkins were entered, including the Dr. John Favone look-alike pumpkin, a Ross Perot, and a Santa Claus. Last week, the History Department and Time Magazine sponsored a student election poll. History students were polled for picks of president and other current issues. The results on the questions were as following. According to the poll, 61% of the students felt that the government should guarantee some form of health insurance. The students were also split on federal money being spent to schools' choice. 36% favored and 39% opposed. 45% of the student body felt that jobs should be priority for environmental concerns, and 42% felt that the best solution to the deficit problem would be a balanced budget amendment. On crime, students were split. More money for law enforcement and tougher gun control, and more money for education should be spent. 1/3 of the students polled felt that electoral college should be abolished. And the results for president went Clinton getting 46%, Ross Perot coming in second with 31%, and Bush a distant third at 24%. The national results on Tuesday's election reflected the East results, with Clinton getting the win in both places. As long as we were congratulating people, I would like to congratulate myself in getting into the Senior Hall of Fame. Damn, I'm good.
1 week ago, the Spanish Club, led by Mr. Burgess and 3 teachers of the non-Western Civilization class, went to Washington, D.C. The students of the non-Western class visited the Smithsonian to see firsthand Asian and African culture and art. The students returned to the classroom with a much better understanding of these civilizations. The Spanish Club visited the Seeds of Change program to learn of the impact of the European and American cultural exchange. As we await the end of the fall season, here is Wes Fine with another Cougar football loss and the rest of the sports.
In boys soccer this week, Mike Lean scored the game's only goal as Cherry Hill defeated Ocean City 1-0 on Tuesday to advance to the second round of the South Jersey Coaches Tournament. The winning goal came after a shot by Andrew Jensen that rebounded out to Lean, who kicked it in for the goal. Earl Walker provided the shutout. But the Cougars lost 2-1 on Friday to Haddonfield. In that game, East led 1-0 at the half on a goal by Dave Patqua. Earl Walker finished with 13 saves. In girls soccer, Erica Miles, Laura Ansela, and Pam Clark and Lisa Goldstein all had goals for a 4-1 win for East against Deptford on Tuesday. And they lost 2-1 on Thursday. Now to field hockey. East and Camden dueled to a scoreless tie on Thursday. Lisa Durr-Paposian led East with 7 saves. And in football, Eastern beat Cherry Hill East 33-14 on Friday. Eastern exploded for 27 points in under 6.5 minutes in the second period. It was the Cougars' 4th loss in a row, something that hasn't happened East in a long time. Quarterback Ben Steinberg passed for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. The first was on a 10-yard run by Jim Francisconi, and the second was on a pass from Steinberg to A.J. Salvatore for 9 yards. And congratulations to Mr. Tony Sipp, who was named Cross Country Coach of the Week by the Courier-Post. That's all for the sports this week, and now back to you, Matt.
In an effort to pump up his wrestling team, Coach Lou Frank on Friday had members of the Marine Corps Olympic Greco-Roman wrestling team visit prospective wrestlers here at East. The Olympic gold medal wrestlers wanted to show students that not only young men, but females and adults too can wrestle. They had a female student and Mrs. Hayes, a Latin teacher, demonstrate wrestling moves in self-defense. A featured highlight of the presentation was a wrestler demonstrating his jump rope warm-up exercises. Hopefully, these members of the Marine Corps enticed students and gotten wrestlers ready for the upcoming season. Yesterday, the students had the day off, but the teachers were being taught in a faculty in-service throughout the Cherry Hill Public School District. On tomorrow and Friday, all Cherry Hill Public Schools will be closed for the NJEA convention, which will be held in Atlantic City. This concludes EastCast for Wednesday, November 4th, 1992. For our student camera operator, Tim Brady, our cameraman and editor, Mr. Gordon Hampson, faculty advisor, Mr. Keith Haynes, sports reporter, Wesley Fine, and my co-anchor, Lisa Taylor, and myself, Matt Leschner. Good night. Stay tuned for East-West Girls Gymnastics following the junior school news. Tonight, we leave you with our mutt, Ophelia, who went to the Halloween dance dressed as Mickey Mouse. Good night, Ophelia.
Good evening and welcome to the West Report. I'm Genevieve Garrido.
And I'm Tali Teichman. Tuesday, November 3rd, the United States voting public made their decision for whom the next president will be. What if Cherry Hill West High School had made that choice? Last Wednesday, October 28th, Cherry Hill West got that chance to decide by taking part in a national student parent mock election. Sponsored statewide by New Jersey's Department of Education, West students made their choices for both the presidential and congressional elections. In the presidential race, there was a total of 13 separate tickets from which to vote. The winner from among the 1,067 votes counted, Democrat Bill Clinton, with 439 votes, about 41%. Second in the race was Texas billionaire H. Ross Perot, carrying 355 voters to his ticket, a surprising 33% of the vote. The Republican ticket took third place with 210 votes, approximately 20% of the student voters. The remaining 63 votes were divided among the independent tickets. In the election for the House of Representatives, 957 votes were tallied, with almost half, an amazing 457 votes, going to incumbent Republican Jim Saxton. Democrat Tim Ryan earned 268 votes, gathering a sizable 28% of the total. The other 8 candidates split 232 votes between themselves. Tomorrow and Friday, all Cherry Hill public schools will be closed, as well as all public schools in the state of New Jersey, to permit teachers to attend their annual convention in Atlantic City. It's been a busy week in sports, and here's Dave Marica to give you the details.
Last Saturday, the West football team played Camden at home, losing only 27-20. After trailing 13-0 early in the first half, West came back to tie the score on an 82-yard touchdown reception by Chris Martini and a 20-yard touchdown run by quarterback Kevin Carlton. The Lions took the lead late in the game as Mike Fulcher ran back a kickoff 85 yards for a touchdown. However, the defense couldn't stop Camden's potent offense as it scored its 27th point with little time remaining. This Friday, West will play highly ranked Eastern 7:30 p.m. away. The boys soccer team got to the quarterfinals of the coaches tournament last week before exiting with a loss to Cherokee. The team began the tourney by beating Pennsauken 3-1 as Joe Molinaro, Tom Bent, and Brian Bianco all scored goals. However, the Lions then fell to highly ranked Cherokee 2-1 last Saturday. Also, in regular season play, the boys beat Bishop Eustis 1-0 as Bill Anuzak scored the lone goal. The team will begin its state championship quest against Toms River North this week. The girls' soccer team concluded its season this week as the team tied 5th-ranked Camden Catholic 0-0. Goalie Jennifer Tessing made 10 saves in the contest for West. All the girls should be commended on a fine season. The field hockey team also ended its season last week with 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 tie. The Lady Lions crushed Deptford 6-0 as Julia Dunworth and Shannon O'Connor each had a pair of goals. West tied Gloucester High 2-2 as Dunworth and Julie McDonald scored the goals. The loss came to the hands of Pennsauken 1-0. Again, all team members should be congratulated on a strong season. The girls' tennis team had 4 matches last week, losing all 4 to Paul VI, Gloucester Catholic, Washington Township, and Moorestown. In the singles category, Monica Berwagen won each of her matches for West. These final games conclude the season for the girls' tennis team, who were solid again this season and didn't clinch a state tournament berth. Both the boys and girls cross-country teams fell to Washington Township in the East last week. Dave Suzka placed first for the boys' team, as Jody Sanders placed third for the girls' team. Also on Saturday, both teams participated in the South Jersey Championships. The boys' team placed 13th in Group 4 play. Dave Zuzka placed 33rd individually, and Jody Sanders placed 44th individually. Both teams still have the Olympic Conference meet this week. The West Boys Gymnastics team fell to Haddon Township last Thursday, 122-77. Ryan Spiegel, Eric Mulford, and Brian Lewis all placed individually for the team. This meet concludes the boys' season with a solid performance. And finally, the girls' gymnastics team concluded its season with 2 losses to Rancocas Valley and Shawnee, 92-78. Ashley Kramer and Jen Mesa were the team's only individual placers in the meet. The girls ended its season with a respectable record. Congratulations to all the fall sports teams on a great season, and good luck to the teams still playing. Well, that's all the sports. Now back to the West Report.
The History Department developed a special activity related to the 500-year commemoration of the European discovery of America. The theme for the Columbus commemoration, chosen by the History Department, is When Worlds Collide, the Cultural Legacy of Columbus. The History Department stressed the joining of 3 cultures: European, Native American, and African American. Guest speakers were invited to share their views on the discovery of America and how it affected their cultures. 9th graders focused on the world in the time of Columbus, while 10th, 11th, and 12th graders focused on the present and future legacy of Columbus. Hunks from the senior class will be showing off their talents and bodies to the annual Mr. West pageant at the Cherry Hill West Auditorium. This will be an opportunity for girls to see the man of their dreams. Good luck to all the contestants, and may the best man win. You have plenty of time to hurry over and catch this event.
Thank you for watching the West Report. Stay tuned for the junior school news, followed by the East-West girls gymnastic meet. Good night.
Good night.
Good evening and welcome to Carusi News. I'm Orit Aviram.
And I'm Dave Lozowski.
Our top story for tonight is the presidential elections. Even though the presidential elections throughout the country were held yesterday, to prepare for this, Carusi students held mock debates for the student body. Here with the story is Dave Lozowski.
Thanks, Orit. On Friday, October 30th, Carusi had a presidential debate. It featured Aaron Solger as Bill Clinton, Jason Portnoy as Al Gore, Peter Woodworth as George Bush, and Julie Snyder as Dan Quayle. Jamie Correa has Ross Perot, and Nick Strasser has Admiral James Stockdale. The debate was for the entire school to see, and everyone enjoyed the great acting. Many different questions were asked by the students acting as the media, such as Sam Donaldson and Barbara Walters. After watching the debate, students and staff had a chance to cast their votes for the personal preference for president. Bill Clinton took first place easily. Ross Perot took a strong second, and George Bush ended up in third place. It seemed as if our Carusi students predicted the presidential win. Congratulations to our new president. Back to you, Orit.
Thank you, Dave. As talked about in previous broadcasts, Carusi offers a unique period called enrichment. Here with the story is Mark Scepter.
Thanks, Orit. Do you think dog obedience classes are necessary? According to Miss Bates, yes, they are. Miss Bates conducts a dog obedience class every year so that students can learn the basic steps of dog obedience. You must have a dog to participate, but you also must know someone who can drop the dog off at Carusi at 8:40 a.m. and then pick it up again at 9:25. Miss Bates said she started dog obedience about 6 years ago when she first got her dog because she wanted a good, manageable pet. Then she got more interested and took it a step further. Consequently, her dog is now a show dog. The dog obedience classes at Carusi have been going on now for about 5 years. The class meets roughly 8 times a year, give or take a class depending on weather. Miss Bates said that any responsible pet owner owes it to themselves and their dog to learn the basic steps of dog obedience. So anyone out there with an untrained dog that's out of control, join Miss Bates' dog obedience class. Back to you, Orit.
Thank you, Mark. Here with sports are Michelle Harp and Nicholas.
This week, we have the fall wrap-up on sports. On Friday, the 7th grade field hockey team finished its season with a 3-0 win over Haddonfield. Jackie Rispoli scored 2 goals, and Joy Alexander and Melissa Heber scored the third. Liza Ruiz provided the team's 9th shutout and goal. Robin Schmidt, Joanne Hornstein, Erica Sperry, Gina Corso, Sarah Dunworth, and Jessica Vernon played superb defense and limiting the Bulldogs to 3 shots. Erica Swayze, Jamie Wolf, Sandra Capuccio, and Beth Gerway provided an excellent support as halfbacks. And finally, Deja Ettinger, Kelly Higgins, Katie Foote, Kristen Moody, Natalie Pilla, Lauren Rizzoli, Heather Zanzinger, Jen Gaunt, Julie Hitch, and Gilda Scherer kept the constant pressure on the Haddonfield goalie. The 7th grade field hockey record was 8 wins, 1 loss, and 2 ties. Of the 11 games played, the 7th grade shut out its opponents 9 times. Leading scorers for the team were Jackie Rispoli and Erica Swinzy. Mr. Gerst would like to congratulate the team on a great season. And now the 8th grade field hockey. The 8th grade field hockey team had an exciting year with an excellent final record of 8 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. Leading scorers for the year were Michelle Harp with 6 goals and Tara Zanzinger with 5 goals. There was also strong aggressive play of the season by Christine Fay, Cicely Kern, Natalie Scherer, and Lindsay Weiderman. Last week, the team voted on categories of most valuable player, most improved player, and the unsung hero, which is the one person that the team was always helping out at the games or practices. We will announce the results of this in a few weeks. The valuable player and the unsung hero were coordinatedly invited to the West Fall Sports Banquet, which we will have more later on in November. All in all, Ms. Heineman thought the team had a fantastic year and hoped they will go on to play field hockey in high school. She would like to congratulate and thank the team on an excellent year.
The 8th grade girls soccer team wrapped up their season with a final record of 1 win, 6 losses, and 5 ties. The top scorer for the team with 5 goals was Michelle Beard. Tied for second with 2 goals were Sarah Hyatt, Jen Mariani, and Andrea Thiel. And now to boys soccer. On Tuesday, October 27th, both 7th and 8th grade boys soccer teams wrapped up their seasons by playing Haddon Township Middle School at home, with the 7th grade and 8th grade teams combining to beat them 10-0. The 7th grade's team final record stands perfect with 13 wins and no losses. The team's leading scorers for the season were Tom Maloney and Lou Macri. Mr. Golden would like to thank the entire team for a really tremendous season and a lot of great teamwork. The 8th grade team's final record was 12-0 and 2 ties. The leading scorers for this team were Ben Salerno, Mike Young, Devin Kelly, and Jim Lupinetti. Mr. Klein and Mr. Keene would like to congratulate the team on 2 years of undefeated seasons and very excellent playing. Basketball and wrestling tryouts begin this week. Good luck to all participants. Now back to you, Arit.
Thank you, Nick, and thanks, Michelle. We'd like to thank you for watching. We'd also like to thank our advisor, Mr. Gerst, Diane Zibikowski, and Seth Dembwitz for contributing to this week's broadcast. We will not be on next week. Join us again in 2 weeks. Good night.
Good night.